See, Turek, your mind, it is like a gun. And you want to load it up with little itty bitty bullets of knowledge.
What's going on, family? It's your guy Bo, the Lucky Libra. Thank you for tuning in to another episode. Alright, as you can see by the title, we're jumping into the Constellation through the Houses series, and we're starting with the first house, Aries in the first house to be exact. Alright, so yeah, make sure to check out my website to connect with the Lucky Libra. Make sure to tap into my Patreon where I'm getting into monthly collective readings, synastry, breakdowns, deeper analysis, and more. Alright, so let's get right into it. Now, you guys can check out for this whole first house portion, I'm going to go through all houses, constellations through all houses. For this first house portion, this is more so focusing on the influence of that constellation in the house ruler, physical traits, facial traits, personality, and yeah, so we really want to dig into personal presentation here. But you guys can check my rising sign series where I'm more so breaking down, going more in depth on the life path of every rising sign, okay? Because every rising sign has a specific life path. So let's get right into it. Now, Aries in the first house. The first house represents everything governing our persona, all right? How we naturally personally express ourselves, how we deal with personal issues and priorities in our life, people, places, and things that we're personally related to, how people perceive us personally, our natural personality, especially how people perceive us on first impression. Okay, the sun is our actions, the moon is our reactions, but our personality, the first house is the personality that's being filtered through it all. Okay, so when we have Aries in the first house, Aries is cardinal fire ruled by Mars. Aries is home in the first house. The houses was here first. Over time, the houses gave birth to the constellation. So this is something we need to understand. All houses have their own frequency vibration. All houses have their own frequency vibration. I have a first house just like you that's watching this has a first house. But I have Capricorn and Aquarius in my first house. You watching this most likely may have Aries in the first house or another sign in the first house. So the first house is always going to deal with our personal outlook. But the sign in that first house influences how we deal with our personal outlook, how our natural personality is influenced, okay? So when we have cardinal fire, Mars here, Mars is home here. It was birthed out of this house, okay? So it's very comfortable here. When we look at the house ruler Mars is dealing with our passions, integrity, our courage, ambition. All right, it's nicknamed the god of war. So it deals with meeting confrontation. It's aggressive. It's about setting the initiative, and overall governs our intentions, but can also deal with anger and frustration. So when you have this energy in the first house, off rip by default, these people personalities are going to be passionate, but is also aggressive. Alright, these are aggressive individuals. When they have something that they personally want to embark on, they dive right into it. So they can have impulsive actions. They can express themselves impulsively. Okay, this is the personality here. So depending on the sun and moon alters a lot of these things. These people, with the aggressive like personality, because they have so much passion, because they already have the natural, when it comes to their first house, their natural psyche here is already dealing with individuality. Aries is home here. Aries is the I am. So these people can be a bit controlling because they want to have their foot on top of situations. They want to make sure they have some type of grasp on situations. They don't like going into vulnerable spaces, not knowing where they're at, not understanding their surroundings. These people are very intuitive. They understand others. They could really read people based off their actions and how people express themselves and the things that they do. All right, these people have a way of, because you put the I am in the first house, it understands, somewhat of people's personal presentations. Personal expressions. All right, it's real dialed in on how people personally express themselves, because it's also very aware of how these people are very aware how they personally express themselves. So they're very conscious of how other people do too as well. Okay, extremely independent. These people will do things on their own, not let anybody know what they're doing. You know, they just embark on things when they want to do it. Mars, it's a very direct energy, can be impatient. So yet these people can be very impatient because they could act impulsively on things, but it could play out in positives in many ways because they don't need outside confirmation to embark on certain journeys and do certain things. They just go ahead and personally inspire themselves, you know, and then they on the job. And how they learn to, and they're gonna learn to how they you know, navigate their experiences. These people can feel vulnerable being led, or feeling like people have to teach them, lead them places or whatnot. All right, so at times, you know, Aries in this first house, because it has so much you know, courage, it has so much belief in self to get things done. At times it could just be a detriment in being able to be taught or get advice from others, because that alone can make you feel vulnerable. Almost makes you guys feel like it makes you feel like you've been expressing yourself in a certain way for other people to even look at you like you weak, incapable. Aries rising, Aries in the first house, they don't get with that energy. They don't like that. And these people can take things personal. The personal priorities, personal outlook on the world is very strong. They have very strong ideals. So these people can relate things to self a lot of the times, or can put themselves in a comparison to things a lot of the times by default. So they could take things personal. So y'all got to be careful of that. So we got that fire house, that fire sign Aries here. Now when we get into some traits and presentation, you know, here when we look at the physical traits in the first house, all of these may not be as apparent, but the energy, the aura, the presentation, personality, that's always going to be evident. But based off aspects to the house ruler, all right, which in this case is Mars. So you want to know what house Mars is in. You want to understand the energy of Mars as an Aries rising. That energy rules your first house and your chart. The house that you have Mars in as the Aries rising, you need to understand what house that Mars is in, so you know where a lot of your personal issues are going to be the most active, where you're going to be setting a lot of intentions, where you're going to have to learn patience because you're real passionate, direct in this area, and you're also going to build a lot of frustration in this area. So this is what you need to understand. But when it comes to these people, personal, before we go to traits, let's talk about the aura, the energy, personal energies first. You know, these people can come off, their personal presentation can be a little bit intimidating. Could be intimidating, all right? These people could have possibly seductive like looks, all right? Cool, calm, and collected, but seductive like looks. The eyebrow area can have an arch, so it can have some form of intensity here. You can also see these traits in the sun sign, all right? When I go through these first house traits, not only the rising, but people that have the sun in these energies can pick up a lot of these traits. So, you know, the first house rules the head area, but can see some influences on the body. But you know, the eyebrow area can have a little arch or some intensity here, okay? And, you know, they can have the quote-unquote resting beep face, okay? I've been trying to curse less on the tube, so yeah, they can have the resting bleep face, all right? And they don't even realize they have it. Depending on their sun and their moon, it could be some real jovial personalities or whatnot. But when that first house energy is going to influence a lot about the personality and the personal expression. So yeah, could have that intimidating feel to others. The women can intimidate the men easy. Men be scared to hold a convo with the Aries rising or the Aries sun woman. All right, so you got that there. Boom. Okay, now when we get into some physical traits, we could see a long face here, long face and a long neck area. That's one thing that's I find very apparent here. Long face, long neck. Usually thin and fit, can have somewhat of a slim athletic build. Maybe not too athletic, but a slim, fit, thin, long build, okay? But especially in the face and neck area. Can have a ruddy reddish glow complexion when it comes to their skin tone, like an Indian bronze reddish glow, okay? And you know, Mars got that red tint to it, so that's that influence in the first house. And they may also end up with marks or scars in the forehead. So that's definitely may have met some clashes. Mars in the first house, going through certain clashes, maybe got certain fights, or in some type of shape or form you end up developing a prominent mark, scar in the forehead, head area, okay? So these are some things that I find apparent. And when we go to the celebrities, you know, we got Rihanna Aries rising. I think this is one of the best presentations, representations here, because you know she really got that reddish glow to her skin, and her face, neck area is real slim, not you know, long and elegant. Like We got Morgan Freeman, tall, slim fit individual. We got Shakira, okay? She got a, when I looked at the pictures of her images of her, she do got somewhat of a long face, neck area. Kendall Jenner definitely got that type of energy. Almost a model look with the women. Jeff Bezos, all right? He got like a long, thin build. And yeah, those are the Morgan Freeman. I think I said that already. Bill Cosby. All right, so see, these are some of the celebrities. I got Aries up in that first house. All right, maybe some examples here that correlate to some of these energies we see in the first house. Rihanna definitely got that seductive look. She a Pisces too. I think she a Aries moon. I don't remember. But she got that seductive look too. You feel me? Even Kendall Jenner to a certain degree, especially Shakira. Shakira is seductive as hell. I don't even know her sun and moon. So family, that's the energies of Aries in the first house and the influences it brings to this house. All right, y'all. Until next time, make sure y'all tap into my website. Make sure y'all tap into my Patreon. Until next time, family. Peace.